Good morning. Good morning. Going. It is coffee time with Coach Jot in the building. Cups raised. Get your mug ready. My mug is ready. Always on deck. Gotta have my coffee in the morning. That's just how it is. Greetings to you. We here. One more day at it. You know how that go. We just here rocking and rolling. Trying to make this day beautiful. I'm sorry. I have my arm all in y'all way on here. I didn't mean to do that to y'all. I'm trying to send the kites out to let folks know where we at. Because we in the spot. We in the building. I got tons of things to talk about today. Um, And I'm gonna see if my crew gonna come join me in a little bit. I'm gonna send them a message just in case they want to come through. There's so much going on right now. So much going on. I'm really excited about next month. I have a ton of workshops scheduled coming up. We're also going to start the open mic back at the drive-in next month, which is going to be super, super dope. So, yeah, man, y'all just get ready. Y'all just get ready because it's going down. There is quite a few things that I want to mention to some folks about, but I am really excited about the drive-in starting again. Has always been one of my favorites. One of my favorite open mics to do. Brandy, good morning to you. One of my favorite good morning, one of my favorite mornings. It's been one of my favorite uh, open mics to have. And like I said, I've had so many different open mics and poetry events. Mike, what's going on, brother? Had so many open mic and other poetry events that had gone on, and the drive-in had just always been super for me. It had always been one of those things that I enjoy so much. And I think it's just the whole setup, the whole dynamics to it and everything like that really makes it really, really dope for me. But I'm excited about it, and I can't wait to get that started back. And, see all the faces, all the folks that weren't able to come out before, and then those that came out all the time because we had our regulars too, right? But what up, tight cat? Mike got jokes on me. Teresa, good morning. Diva on Wheels, good morning. It is a great morning to be the best you can be. There's no better morning than now, right? This is the absolute best morning to be the best you can be. So I'm encouraging it. I'm encouraging you to go out and just be super fantastic, to just be great today in this moment. Whatever you're doing in your life, do it to the fullest today. Make today super fantastic for you. I promise you. Starting your morning off that way will make it. So I promise you that. I have so much. One of the a few of the books are going to the printer this week, confirming that. Right, there's a lot of work in getting your books done, and I'm not a full first time author, but there's always little things that you forget about, little things you need to remember when it comes to finishing up your books, and so definitely want to do that. But it is National Women's Month, is it not? Anybody when it's in the feed right now, type in something that you want to. Brethren, what's good? Type in a way that you like to honor women. I don't care what who the woman is in your life. Mother, daughter, sister, lover, partner, whoever it is. How would you honor a woman? How would you honor women today? Team Tight Cap, Mike, you crazy. How would you honor women today? There's so much going on, but life would not be without women, right? They keep it going on. They keep it pushing. It's funny, when I woke up and I had my daughter with me downstairs, and I was drinking my coffee, and I turned on Dave Chappelle, and she was just so quiet. She went to sleep listening to Dave Chappelle, and I was like, oh man, I hope it doesn't make me a bad dad because I listen to Dave Chappelle with my daughter. But I mean, it is what it is, right? What am I going to do? Make sure they are fully acknowledged. Absolutely, absolutely. I honor myself and my daughter daily. Absolutely. I think that we we're charged with so much so many different things that we really don't pay attention to. I think a lot of times we miss out on things, not paying attention to um, how connected we are to people, and don't realize their value. You know what I'm saying? You know until you can't give them their flowers anymore. Um, and I think just thinking about how civilization stops without the woman, right? Humanity stops without the woman. life stops without women. If you think about it, no matter if it's fish, plants, humans, um, or animals, Prada in the building, everything stops when there are no women. And I think that's like, I don't know how much we really, you know what I mean? Like how much attention we give that. You know, there's no nothing without women. And that is like a beautiful thing. As a beautiful thing. So tell me if you're a woman in here or not, if you're a man in here, or, I understand, everybody have their own. I listen, I'm be honest, I don't have any bad thing to say about people who use different pronouns. I just, want to be correct. I don't know how however you see yourself fit, but we're honoring women today and this entire month. And I want to talk about that, the different ways that you would love to honor a woman or like to be honored, right? So let's talk about that. Just talk about it. Type in the feed. How would you honor or like to be honored as a woman today? Or how would you honor someone, the women in your life that have been great there, have been great for you, have taught you things and taken care of you, all of that good stuff. We want to talk about that today. I think there's so much we can add into that. But I want to hear what y'all, I want to hear y'all's take on it. I don't want to have to lead the way all the time. I want to hear y'all take on it. What would you do? And how does that feel? I think there's a lot to a lot, because people celebrate differently, right? No two people celebrate exactly alike. No two people live life exactly alike. They might have a lot of similarities, right? They might be parallel in a lot of ways, but at some point, something is going to change. So let's talk about that. What's funny too, while we talking about honoring people, how many of y'all watched Coming to America Part 2? What are your takes on that? I loved it. I've been sending a personal message telling my women friends just how much I love and appreciate them. Proud of that is awesome. That is so awesome. And I think we need to do more of that, right? I think that's some of the things we forget to do. Like you have a phone right there, you can text, you can call, you can, there's so much that you can do. I think we need to work on those kind of things. How do you make that better? Good morning, Carla. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're talking about how do you honor the women in your life, what you can do. And maybe some people don't have ideas, right? So let's throw ideas out there. What's little things you can do, right? You can go to, little stores and get, little, a nice vase or vase, however you want to say it, and decorate it with candy in it, and something that they can see all the time. I love the smell of chocolate when it's fresh. You can do things like that. You can buy them a little mug, buy them a shirt, do something that's not the everyday. Women, some women like flowers, get them flowers. Men, when you're picking out flowers, try to pick out flowers that don't buy them from the cheap stores. Unless you have to, I get it. But if you can afford not to, try to get them from stores that have flowers that have good fragrance to them. Then you can smell them, because there's nothing better than smelling your flowers or smelling your roses, whatever flowers you have in the air. Like that's a beautiful smell. Of course, we have Women's of Writer Poetry. Somebody talk about that product. Teresa Bryant says, I thank God I get to honor my mother daily by letting her know that I love her. And since she loves flowers, I do my best to shower her with flowers at least on a monthly basis. That is so awesome, Teresa. And it's awesome. Troy says, yes, that is true, but go both ways in the end. One way honor women is, yes, appreciation, but also honor yourself as a man, respect yourself. Right, I get that, but right now we're focusing on, it is National Women's Month, and we want to make that kind of give people ideas, because what I've learned is that sometimes people need the extra, right? Sometimes people need the extra hint, and it's just a little more understanding or some ideas of what they can do. So we want to stick to that. We want to kind of stick to that basis of what up, the poet, Shy the poet. What's good morning to you? We'll kind of stick to that, you know what I'm saying, and talk about what we can do to kind of honor them. And no, not only one specific day or specific month, but here's the thing. If we haven't been doing it all year, let's start now, right? I like to start on a positive note. let's take away any negative or anything that's not really adding up to the the fullness of what we're talking about. And yes, we should not wait to a specific timing or day or when someone says this is when we should do it. No, I agree with that. But good morning, Shirley. Let's stick in to the now, what we can do and now in this moment. Let's just stay in that arena. I feel that as brothers, we can deeply edify our sisters by being fully present in our interaction. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. But let's be specific, right? What can we do? What are some ideas that we can do? And let's throw some ideas to help other people. Right? Somebody may not know, Mr. Epiphany. Some people may not have a clue of what they can do, like what their options are. You know what I mean? Like, what am I able to do in this moment? What can I do right now to honor the women or woman in my life, right? And a lot of us, we take it for granted because we know, but some people don't know. Some people really do not know. And so let's talk about that. What for the women in here, what are the things that you would like to do? I'd rather a letter, note, picture in a frame, dinner in a movie, more than flowers any day. Awesome. And that's it. Some women don't like flowers. Some women don't care so much for flowers. And we get that. We get that. I think there's a lot of women who don't like flowers. There's a lot of women who don't like flowers. And that's cool. I mean, to each his own. I don't want to do something that you don't like. Like, that's not fair to you, right? If you don't like something, I do it. If it doesn't make sense to make a chicken and broccoli casserole if you don't eat chicken. It doesn't make sense. But I think again, I think there's a lot of times people don't have, they don't know. You know what I mean? A lot of times we take for granted that we assume that people know exactly what we want. It's just that they die. I love flowers, my God. Right. And I understand that. I don't have a come back to that at all. I totally get it. We want what we want. And nobody wants to have a gift that fades or ends. I get it. I totally get it. 100% of the way. 100%. But it is the month to honor women. And I definitely wanted to make sure that we do that and talk about ways that we can honor women and then let some women tell us things that women like. Men always assume we know everything, but we don't. And women assume we know everything, but we don't. And then when we mess up, then you're mad. But let's talk about that. What up, Kendra?
Good morning. How are you?
How you doing this morning?
I'm great.
Good. How was your weekend?
It was good.
Good.
Do I have an echo?
Yeah, there's a slight echo somewhere.
Wonder why.
That's all good.
Is that better? Okay, I don't hear it now.
Okay, good.
Okay.
And so we're talking about it's National Women's Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're talking about things that we could do to honor women, what women like to, how they want to be honored. And so we're trying to throw hints out there for people who might not have a clue. They might have exhausted different things. And then there's some things that they just didn't think about. And so I was asking, how would you like to be honored? Like, how would you like someone to honor you? And obviously, we all want to be able to be vacation and taking care of all that is good and fine. But let's talk about the little things that add up to the whole picture. Like, what are some of the small things that men miss, forget, never thought about? What are those things that we can talk about how we can honor women? What do you think?
I think it is extremely important to listen to what to women,
Mm-hmm.
and not listen with the intent. Sometimes we don't need you guys to fix stuff, and I know that men are natural fixers. So a lot of times when we're communicating, the man is just in the background thinking of how he can fix it. It's just like, okay, she has this problem. How can I fix it? When sometimes we just need a safe place to vent. Safe place to talk. So I think that communication and just, being able to hear is one huge thing. I think another area is just being a safe place.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people may be more, looking at stuff about how you can give or, things of that nature. But To me, it's more important to have a good relationship, be able to communicate, and just, appreciate me for who I am, or us for who we are.
Absolutely.
Because we get enough of how, things that we are supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it. We're very aware of all of that.
Yeah.
We're also very aware of how we don't always line up with how we are supposed to do everything. So, yeah, I think that's huge. What are some other things people are saying?
Somebody said, I love when my man opens and closes the car door for me, pulls out the chair for me, and prepares breakfast for us. It's beautiful. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't think that I was not raised to not open doors, and so I don't think that's not something. I mean, that should be every day. This is my opinion. I don't see me allowing you to pump gas and open the car doors. My daughters, just stand by the door and coming. And I mean, granted, sometimes they get there faster than I can and forget. But I think opening car doors and doors is just a natural thing. That should be an automatic, right? If you were the guy, he's not opening the door, I would stand there and just look back at him. And I guarantee I'll never forget to do it again ever.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That is very that's very important. Marissa said, listen with your heart. Pay attention to the small things that are important to us.
Yeah.
And make our day a little bit easier. That you share your love with us. See us because we love you. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. Open Book says cooking and cleaning would be great. And so even with that, like, here's my take on that, right? I'm no chef, but so we'll get away from the cooking thing. But I will say that, like, my issue had always been if I clean something and then you go behind me and clean it as if I didn't clean it, well, I'll never do it again. Because my whole thing is, like, no two people do everything exactly alike. And so I might not be as, you know what I'm saying? I might not hit it the way you hit it. Yeah. But just because I don't clean it right, for you to go back behind me, do it when I'm not looking. Don't just go right behind me and clean it up because I'll never do it again. What's up, Lucy?
What's up, y'all? Good morning. Grand Rising.
We're talking about honoring women and the things that women want, how they want to be honored and how they like to be honored. And so we're asking opinions on that. And so, like I said, some of us men, we don't get it. We haven't been taught to do such a thing. And then we get with women who expect something that we have not been taught to do. And I'm not faulting the woman for that. But if you don't make mention of it, he will never know that this is some things that you like, and it's how you make mention of it. But let's mention some of those things that you like and enjoy. I'm easy. Open Book said I'm easy, y'all, because I can eat breakfast any time of the day. Yeah.
I think it's important too that men allow women to have that alone time, because we all need it. Men need it too, but we need time to be able to just be, and not for the man to think, oh, well, she needs to be alone, so what is she doing? Or, I don't know what I'm not going to say. Some people have a very, or some guys have a very, what's the word I would say? Not controlling or possessiveness over their mate or whoever they're with. Same thing with women. I'm not saying it's just men. Same thing with women. But I think just knowing that, sometimes you need that alone time to be able to recuperate, be able to just, love on yourself. That's huge too. That's huge for me.
I agree. I think another too is that when men are we're simple, right? We do what we see, we do what we know, whatever we learn, and that's it. Like, we don't try to learn extra shit unless we just really want to. And so everybody that you meet are flowing with life according to what they've learned, what they've taught, what they've seen, what has been routine. And let's just be honest, we come from some jacked up relationships. We come from some jacked up families. Everybody got some jacked up shit going on in their family. And with that, a lot of men they've been in situations where if this is happening, it's happening because of this. That's it. It ain't nothing else. And we respond to life like that. And I'm sure it's like that with women too. We respond to things in that manner because this is what it has to be because this is all that I know. And I think that destroys a lot of relationships.
I just think that a lot of times people, when they get into relationships, I think we probably said this a million times, like they don't have conversations. Everybody got expectations without conversations.
Yeah.
So it's like if I'm, like if I'm dating somebody and they like, like I'm just expecting him to do whatever. And he like in his world, that's not what he does. But in my world, I'm like, yeah, you should do this. And it doesn't work like that.
Right.
Like you gotta say, listen, how would you feel if this? Or, like this is the way that I like to, like I would like for you to do this. Is that something that you're willing to do if we decide to enter into a relationship?
Yeah.
We walk into relationships and just be like, yep, like you walk into the store and it's like, yep, I can have this, I can grab that, I can do this, I can do that. And it is, and and so I think it just boils down to communication.
Exactly.
And I feel like communication is the key to everything. People do not want to talk to each other. We just know, we don't want to talk. Communication can solve a whole lot of issues.
Just about every issue.
Right. And if it's honest, open communication, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, don't tell me that you like something just because you know that I like it. Like, no, I don't want you to do that. If you don't like this, say, nah, I don't like that. And I'm like, okay, well, where's our happy medium? Can we find a happy medium to where, it's a little bit of what you like and a little bit of what I like, and we got to figure this thing out, especially when you first date each other. Because I always find if you walk into a situation and you don't explain who you are or say what you want, don't be surprised when, like don't flip out and be upset on either side.
Yeah.
Don't be upset about stuff when things don't go the way that you wanted. You didn't say in the beginning what you wanted. Be specific. The same way that when you say, when you pray or manifest, whatever word you want to use, be specific.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What up, V? Where you at? Look like you in the back seat of the car.
I was say she looked frozen for a second.
I'm in the back seat of the car.
Because I'm in the backseat of the car.
Yeah, I think that. Go ahead, V.
I'm on the way back. I'm on the way back.
Say what? You guys be back.
I was on vacation.
Oh, you on vacation? Oh, excuse us.
I was on vacation.
Must be nice to be on vacation.
Yes, I'm on the way back. Y'all doing good this morning?
Yeah.
Good morning, Nikki. Good morning.
I think there's a miss with family relationships, right? Just being family actually jacks up a lot of relationships later on in life. And I say that because we let family get away with shit that we shouldn't.
What?
We don't call family on shit all the time. We let shit slide until it hit to a head, and then we call it out. And I think we call out the wrong shit right away, and then some shit that we should call out, we need to call out and say, "Oh, well, that's her and him. That's them. I ain't got nothing to do with that." But you do. If you living in that home or you in that environment and shit is raw off, we need to address it. And because we don't address it, then the kids learn the behavior. I just posted today, right, about this new music and how ignorant they sound. And people get on me all the time, but I'm saying if celebrities with education did very little, imagine what these celebrities are going to do. And they don't have education. And not that education is everything, but education is a major thing. And if you're allowing people to talk the way they talk and do the shit they do, what does our future look like? Mm-hmm. And people say, "Oh, you're looking too far." No, you're looking far enough. This is where we need to go.
Right.
This is why we jacked up. They're actually trying to stop us from being able to vote. And I think we forget that it was an act. It's not a law for us to vote. And if they snatch that away, we will be jacked up. It'll be civil war right here for real. And we missed that.
We as consumers, we have to demand different from the music, right? And the reason why I say that is because there's an agenda that's being
Yep.
pushed by the labels, and so they're not wanting the conscious rapper to be mainstream because it doesn't sell. Like people aren't buying into the message of like prosperity. They're not buying into the message of like you can make a difference by voicing your opinion. All they want to hear about is the bitches and hoes and fucking and tucking and shooting up the club and stuff. They don't want to hear about activism and stuff. So as consumers, if we want to change the narrative, we have to change what we consume. So that comes from supporting your artists that preach a different message. That comes from going to concerts. That comes from buying CDs,
V,
streaming
you got a
stuff, whatever
bad
it is.
connection over there. I guess because you're moving.
Yeah, I'm in these backwoods and in the backwoods.
Oh yeah, that's what she said. She in the backwoods. Okay, I got it. And you're 100% right. I think so. Heavy D, once he took over Uptown Records, he stopped hiring. He stopped signing rappers. And initially, I was like, man, that's kind of jacked up. He ain't signing no rappers, but he saw it coming. He saw it coming. And I understand everybody has to eat. I get it, but it's just like if I'm gonna say it's okay for you to sell drugs, it's the same shit. You're still poisoning and polluting what our next generation is. And I'm very hard on a lot of the stuff. You know what I mean? I try to lighten up a bit. But at this point now, we're like in a situation where I did lighten up some, V. Come on now. I used to post every day about it. But the climate is so tender right now that we don't have a choice. I mean, the ignorance that's not within our community, they're running up in the Capitol. Our ignorance is just flooding the airways with stuff that we cannot, we can't, it's got us stuck in this box. You know what I'm saying? We still shooting shit out, and that's cute. That's cool until it hits home. So we got to find a way to change some of that stuff.
Yeah.
We got to find a way to change it.
I think that's like what you were saying along those lines and with the communication too. It's important that, how do we say it? I guess when we realize who we are, it's important for us as women to realize who we are as women and to set that standard with the men that we're with. Like, okay, you may be having a conversation, and y'all, one person might be okay with you calling her a B, whatever. But then, the next person you're with may not like that, or it may be okay that you could say that when we're having a conversation, but you better not call me that when we arguing, something like that, whatever the boundaries are. I think that just kind of goes back to the communication and setting the boundaries. But you have to talk about that stuff because, like you say, somebody who doesn't think about it, they may listen to that music and that's just how they talk to somebody. That's just their normal language. And it's like, no, you don't talk to me like that. Hold up.
How powerful. Look at what they did to R. Kelly. They shut him down, didn't they? They shut Bill Cosby down. I don't care if it was agenda behind it. They shut him down. And I'm saying that to say that if women decided, look, you're not going to call me a bitch. We're not going to say it on TV. Y'all can shut that shit down. Like women run the world.
Yeah.
Beyonce made that song, Who Run the World? Women run the world. Every man who has money or whatever he has, somewhere in the midst of that, there's a woman he's trying to hold on to. There's a woman he's trying to take care of. There's a woman he's trying to, and okay, we know society does different things. I'm just speaking from my point. But women can actually change this shit overnight. And it's the collective. I don't care if you have 1 million women who say that it's okay to do so. You have 13 million that's saying no, it's not okay. And y'all can shut this shit down.
But like it's coming. And this is like with this new year, there is an energetic shift that is happening and that is currently happening and it started to happen from male masculine energy and more into the feminine energy. And I don't, I'm like, so I'm gonna go a little bit deeper than a lot of it, because even with everything that has happened, with COVID, that ushering into this new year, this new age, which is at the age of Aquarius, like we are in a whole new energy. Mm-hmm. And the energy is feminine. A lot of, no matter what people say about what happened with COVID, the planet, Mother Earth, has cleansed. She's like, look,
Come on.
sick of this. Is like something's got to change. So it's a cleansing and it's a renewal, and this feminine energy shift is coming into play. And I think that if more women understood, like you said, Job, the power that we wield and what we are able to do with it, because the patriarchal society and that idea is it is 1700, all the way back to that. But it's time. It's time to break that. It's time to get into letting women come into power. We have Kamala, but you know what I'm saying? Which, who saw that coming? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody saw that coming. I don't care what your views are on her and how you feel about her. It is what it is, and she is where she is. And nobody saw that coming. So for that to be one big major thing on a major scale in our lives, that is saying, look, ladies, own your power. Find it, hone it, own it. Shift some shit, change stuff. You know what I'm saying? We have, like you were saying about the children, it's everything started in our house. We are you know what I'm saying? Like, we're the matriarchs.
Yeah. No
matter what happens with daddy, mama still make, say, look, go ask your mama. Go to mama. That's exactly what happens. Go ask your mama. Mamas run shit, especially when it comes to the children. So we have to make that shift within ourselves and within our children and our own house. And once we start doing those things in our own house, it will be amazing to see how, how that carries out into the streets. The reason why a lot of these children are on this music and like Lady V said, and why they're still pushing that is because, first of all, it's the dumbing down of our children. And when when all they want to hear is the killing and and whatever, it's like they don't have no hope, they don't have no aspirations to doing nothing, And I mean, like I tell mine all the time, I need you to have a balance. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have a little bit of that, because this is the area that y'all are growing up. This is y'all's generation's music, and I get it. Y'all can have a little bit of that, but when they get into my car, my radio don't come on. It's Spotify. It's everything that's old school. If it's hip hop, it's old school hip hop, and they complain. But I'm like, this is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. This is where this came from. Even back to listening to, like the Luthers and stuff like that, and they're like, mama, this old music. And I'm like, this is where everybody that you're listening to came from. I want you to have if you're gonna listen to music, appreciate all of it. Have an understanding of what you're listening to. So I think that a lot of times we just kind of let our kids go with what's happening in their generation, and we don't take the time to tell them about anything else. So they don't have that balance. It's just kind of like we let them do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And we can't. We got to be the ones to stop that and change the things that, like we can. I think one of the biggest problems that I find is we keep looking outside of our house.
That's it.
Right. For somebody to change something, it's like, nah. You know what I'm saying? If we, as the adults that we are now, the way we see stuff, if we like, no, look, let's stop this in our individual homes, then we could bring about a bigger change. But we also are in that generation where, I mean, I know like when we were younger, girls having babies, but at a young age, but now they are so young. Like I think I was telling Kendra and them, I was just at the track meet this weekend, and there was a girl running, and she was fast because she beat our girl.
Mm-hmm.
But she's running, and everybody is looking at her belly, and we're like, is this girl pregnant? Because if so, she is 12 or 13 years old.
Wow.
And that, what I'm saying, like that hurt. And my son said, mama, how does that happen? This is what I told him. I say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Okay. And not just, what it is. And I'm like, and so I went to talk to him further, because I'm like, I don't even know what to say. And it's just like, no. So we're in there, those generations of children having children younger and younger and younger. And who's raising the baby? Because the mama hasn't been raised all the way themselves. So all they know is what's going on in their generation. They know, all about that's all they know. And we don't have the big mamas no more, because we don't have the big mamas. And mama, a lot of times mama was just being raised right along with the daughter. And then she got a daughter or son that she trying to raise along with the grandmother that might be like maybe in her late 20s or early 30s. My children are 12 and 13 and 11, and my daughter is like mama. One of her friends at school, mama is like almost 27, I think she said 27, 28. And they, so I'm like, so I think that's just one of the things, but we don't, to take this conversation all out of there, but we don't talk to our kids about sex. We leave them out here in this world to figure it out. And we don't have those conversations because a lot of things is taboo. And I'm so sick and tired of sex being such a bad taboo thing, because these children engaging in stuff that they know nothing about. And now we having babies and, and diseases and all kind of other stuff because nobody wants to, look, stay with me, class, communication. Nobody wants to communicate. And then, what I'm saying? It's just like everything goes back to communication. Like nobody don't want to communicate.
Yeah.
I've been talking to my kids about sex since they were little. It started with, this is your penis. You're a boy, you have a penis. You're a girl, you have a vagina. Don't let nobody touch you. You don't touch nobody. Sex education 101. You talk to them at their age level. Yeah. My kids know about masturbation. I done told my son, you're going to have the urge. You're going to want to touch yourself. Do it. I don't care. Just don't touch nobody else. Don't let nobody else touch you. My daughter, I told her, I said, when we get further along, these are the things we're going to do. I'm going to sit you down in front of a mirror and I'm going to show you the parts of your vagina. And what I'm saying, in all of your proper places, because you need to know this as a woman. We don't, but what I'm saying, I wasn't taught that when I was growing up, but I know now, like, these are things that she needs to know as a woman, like growing up as a woman. So we don't have those conversations and we don't want to talk. And I'm tired of talking now.
I want to say something too, and I want people to pay attention to this because we miss a lot of that without communication. And so even with people who are, no one wakes up a pedophile. Something happens that tells them that this is okay, and they become that. And we're so quick to say, and I get it, emotionally, you're going to be wrapped up in that. I get it. Somebody do something to your child, your brother, your sister, I get it. But we have to understand that it's because we don't have these conversations that allows this stuff to happen. And children are afraid to say stuff because we won't have these conversations. And I think so much of that falls on the parents because the parents, oh no, don't say that. First of all, I don't talk to my children like they babies. I don't believe in baby talk. I believe in talking to them like they understand because they do. They just can't say it yet. They hadn't gotten to that point yet, but you need to constantly say that. I remember a time where my oldest daughter was might have been about 11 or so. And so her sister was 16, 17, and was having a conversation. And she said something and about one of her friends and this and that. And I asked her, I said, well, it was something about oral sex. And the conversation went, and I was like, well, what you gonna do when somebody asks you to suck their dick like that? And her mother was like, wait. I said, no. I said, how do you think they're gonna ask outside, can you kiss my penis? No. And we don't say directly the thing, so our kids are still lost with us trying to baby it down. We dumb it down for them and then they're lost. And I think that's part of the reason that we have so much going on, because these kids, they don't know how to respond when somebody hit them with the truth. When they hit them with that real shit, they don't know how to respond to that. It's because we've been dumbing it down for so long and not being honest with them. What's up, V?
Hey, V.
Good morning.
But,
Go ahead, Lucy.
No, I was going to say, and also when you said just being honest, having those realistic talks and not like when people calling their vagina pocketbooks or cookies or whatever, man, that's foolishness. My best friend was molested when she was a kid. And it was because of simple stuff like that. She was told, don't let nobody touch your pocketbook. And she not thinking that was her private place. Yeah. She was thinking it was her pocketbook. So all of this time, these things is going on. And she's saying stuff, nobody's believing her. And, like they're talking about her body parts in that way that she doesn't even know what it is that's happening or what's going on, So we got to stop doing that as well, because, like be realistic with your children. Yeah. They understand way more than you think they do. And that's why I'm, because when I was telling y'all, like I've been talking to my kids for a long time, my cousin. So when I first came back home, I was living with my cousin, and her children, maybe a few years younger than mine, but she was like, you talk to your kids and tell them way more stuff than I would ever tell mine. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm not going to have mine out here. I'm like, the world that they live in is way different than the one that we grew up in. So there's no way that I'm going to have them out here, looking like boo-boo the fool because they don't know nothing and nobody's talking to them. I'm like, nah, I'm telling them everything.
And I think too, we have to be a safe place for our kids to be able to come to. They have to feel comfortable, because I'll be the first one to say, y'all know how I am or how I've been, but that's just not how I was raised to communicate. That's just something that we did not talk about, other than you don't do it. Period. It's like that was your conversation about it. So, but I'm grateful that my girls feel comfortable and we're able to have conversations, like they say stuff sometimes and I am like, Lord, help me, Father. But, I'm glad that they know that I'm a safe place to come to, that they can trust me and that we can have that conversation. And also that there are people that that they have around them. Both of my girls have always been very mature for their ages. So like my 17-year-old, she's been hanging around a teacher that is we met through church, but she's in her late 30s. And that's like, she relies on her. So I'm thankful too for the people that are around, the people who we allow to be around our kids, who forms our, what's the word I'm trying to say? Who forms your world, your circle, how you want to put that, to know that if there's something that you can't do, then, know that there's someone there that your kids can go to. And because it takes all of us, together to be able to make sure that our kids get what they need and that we get what we need as well. And I was going to step back for a second just to, I think we were talking about kind of understanding, who we are. And I've read a couple of books and I know, just depending on what your background is, but The Power and Purpose of Man and Power and Purpose of Woman, they're both by Miles Monroe, and he's very detailed, in things, and of course it's more Christian based, but I think we have to study ourselves and also study, the opposite sex, so that we kind of know, okay, this man is saying this, but this is kind of where and why he may be saying it, and just having those open communication, having those talks that we don't always want to have, but in order to know somebody, that's the only way that you get to do that, and to stop jumping into relationships. Like, stop looking at somebody and saying that person, oh, you so cute or whatever, and I like how you look and I want you to be my man. No. It take a whole lot more to be my man than me liking how you look. Yeah, because a lot of guys think that way. It's like, oh yeah, I'm cute. I can go in here and I can get, I want you to be my woman. And no, and then they look at you like you crazy because that's what other women are used to. So that's what we have to teach our kids. You don't just love yourself, be be okay with being who you are and know what you want in a person, and don't just look at it how they look on the outside, because it's a whole lot more to a relationship than how you look.
Absolutely.
Also, the whole, oh, he likes you. He's being mean to you because he likes you. Oh, he pushed you like that because he likes you. Oh, he's doing all of these mean things. No, he gonna get knocked the hell out.
Yes.
He touch me again, like, and like we're taught that's like a cute little gesture of somebody liking you. That's your giving the okay for somebody to hit your kid, and that means that they like you. No, that needs to stop.
Another thing, now that you say that, V, that I don't like, children should be seen and not heard.
What?
That is the most pedophile shit I've heard in my life. And people like, oh, there's a time when children do not need to be in adult conversations.
Right.
100%. I want to know, I want to hear their asses. I want to know what they're talking about and what they're doing. Because I don't believe, you children are children. And sometimes they don't know better, but they do what they see. And I don't know what Uncle Charlie be doing when I ain't in that damn house.
Right.
I don't know what Cousin Pete or Auntie Ann, I don't know what the hell they doing when I'm not there. And so I don't know what that kid know that he's not supposed to know. And then we don't go in the room, and then you find out later, well, this happened to me when I was 6. Yeah, because seen and not heard is what they knew to practice. Yeah. I don't like that fucking shame. I don't like it.
I don't either. Thank God, my parents never did that with us. It was never a situation of, they would have their conversations, I guess, and when they went to bed at night or something, because it was never, we were about to talk, y'all get out. Which is, that's fine, if that's how, depending on, what the conversation is or whatever. But they made sure, and I think all of us are pretty good in communicating per se. We don't talk about everything, but, we're all pretty good communicators. And I think that has something to do with it. We were around when they talked about finances. We were around when we talked about vacations and how to plan and, what we were going to do. And we were able to tell them, this is where we want to go. And this is what I want to wear. And, some parents don't believe in that, which is.
I'm jealous.
Listen, but it allowed us to have an opinion. They always allowed us to have our opinions.
Them doors better stay open. Don't close no damn doors in my house.
Don't close no doors up in here.
Yeah.
You don't pay rent.
They were never like that.
That's actually good though.
You saying that I hate when people say children don't have an opinion and they don't have a choice. And I'm like, why? Because you have to teach them how to be able to choose and decide. And if you keep telling them that they don't have an opinion, you keep diminishing their voice. And the further you keep pushing their voice down, when they become an adult, they will never be able to talk.
That's right.
That we have so many adults that's out here. I'm one of them. That every time, it was like, my daddy was military. Well, both my parents, but my daddy was really, strict military. So it was basically do what I say. And we couldn't vocalize. If we did, it was, we would get in trouble. I mean, I was rebellious. I said what I wanted to say anyway, because, I stayed in flat, but because I still said what I wanted to say. But it was that, but it was still a fear of talking. It was still a fear of saying something. So as I grew into being a teenager and, into my 20s, there was a lot of times I'm like, I didn't say nothing. I wasn't able to speak up, a lot until I really found myself and found my voice. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all know I say anything, but
That's me.
And it's important too, along with what you're saying. So I would say mine was flipped. So I was always, as a child, you talk, you speak, you say, but then as you get older, that's why you have to be careful who you get into a relationship with, because my mate was kind of totally opposite. Like I learned the opposite from him I'm not going to say from him. I'm not blaming it on him, but that's the role that I chose to take on. How about that? I chose to just be like, oh, okay, well, if I say this is going to be his response. So I'm just going to be quiet. Right. So we have to also, that's why another reason why you have to be so careful who you choose to get into a relationship with, because the moment you have to start diminishing, or the moment that we as women, or even men, it applies to y'all too. If you have a woman telling you to shut up all the time, it's not okay. That's not okay. And it's not okay for for a man to likewise tell a woman, I don't want to hear what you have to say, or what you say doesn't matter, because what both of us have to say matters, and we have to respect each other in that. So it's important who we place around us, and we have to notice those, because it's the little things that we don't pay attention to that end up ballooning over time, and it gets out of hand before you know it. You don't even recognize it. You're looking back 20 years later, like, what the heck? What the heck happened?
There are always signs, and we ignore the signs because somebody's cute or pretty. They love and it's good. Whatever it is, we ignore the signs. I have learned. Listen, I will never ever be in a relationship that I can't be who I am naturally. If I can't wake up, I gotta try to change who I am to be with somebody. Then that's not a situation to be in. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of women go through that more than men.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
Like,
pressure to be something that we're not.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and I think it comes from being younger, when it's like, okay, we're not taught that you do these things for yourself. It's like, we're taught you got to do this for him. You have to take care of this. You got to do all of these different things for everybody else. And I think that was the other conversation we were having the other day. And we're not taught to take care of us. So, it's just kind of like, who are we? And when do, what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, okay, when you going to find yourself, like, at what part do you find yourself? Sometimes it be too late. But Kendra, when you said like when see, if a man tell me I want to hear what you got to say, let me tell you, I'm sitting over there rocking like he was sitting at that dinner table, and I'm like,
she about to pull.
It's like just
about to pop off.
I'm like, because I'm like, and I have said that before. I'm like, look, if you don't want to hear either, you're gonna hear me one way or the other. I don't care how you can close your ears, you can walk away, but I'm like, but you still gonna hear me one way or the other. I'm like, I think that shit's really rude and ignorant for you to just have your opinion, and then everybody else's is like, once I said what I said, and this is my opinion, and then you don't have nothing else, you just don't say nothing.
Let me tell you what I see. I see having a conversation with Illusion right now, and then she like, oh really? She get up and go start making grits. And now let me tell you what I was trying to tell you. While she making the grits.
Not the grits.
Nah, grits take too long. You better boil some water and put some salt in that thing.
Now I've grown. I'm like, I would legit walk away. I think because I feel like my absence is gonna affect you more than me. Yeah, I have learned for myself that I ain't giving you that much of my energy. Like, you're not even worth it. You don't deserve that much of me for me to go to those places and get that upset. I've done it and I've been there, and it's like, and it left me drained afterwards. Like, I'm feeling like, I'm like, nah, I ain't about to apologize. I mean, y'all can ask my friend, like, she always would tell this story about how I ended up jumping on her back and breaking her back on some. I didn't break her back, not like
Stop breaking her back.
No, because I ended up, I got that mad behind my kid's daddy saying something to me that I didn't like. I got that mad, and I was trying to get at him, and she was in front of me, and I ended up jumping on her to get at him because I was like, nah.
Because you had them grits on the pot. On the stove.
Right.
I'm lucky that I put the knife down, because it would have been a whole another situation, and y'all wouldn't have never met me.
Read about your be like, that's crazy what that girl did down there in Louisiana.
She's got that dude.
She writing poetry in jail, though.
I don't like getting that upset.
Nah, yeah.
I don't like getting upset to the point where my body doesn't know how to react, so it shakes.
Yeah.
It's like a ooh, like you about to ooh, like I'm about to ooh. But I don't like getting mad like that. I don't. So what I do is, if I see that the conversation, I can't have like a serious talk with you, then I'm just gonna, and it's an asshole move, but it worked. I'm gonna just sit there and I'm gonna just smile and be like, okay,
me.
that's nice, that's cool. Because like I could talk to my mom, my grandmother about everything. I could talk to the women in my life about anything. Like we always had that close bond. Now talking to my dad, that mindset he has is, I'm right, you're wrong, shut up. He's like that, and I'm just like, okay, that's cute, but you're not getting out of this girl right here, because he has 3 girls. My oldest sibling, she be like, whatever. My twin, I call her my twin because we really look exactly alike. She's a firecracker. That's the firecracker. So you got Miss Humble, you got firecracker, and then you got the mixture of everything, which is me. So I'm gonna be humble, but I'm not gonna set my fuse off to blow up on you. I'm gonna calm down and I'm gonna speak to you real stern, cool, calm, and collective, because he still looks at me as if I'm this little girl. No, I am 25. See, I forgot my age. See, I'm old. I'm 25, and you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. Respect is a two-way street, and I feel like a lot of older people do not understand that respect is a two-way street. It's not a one-way. I don't care how old you are, because look here, Miss Ann, I will kick over your cane and you will be on the floor. Right? Look, Miss Barbara, you're not gonna talk about me with that stiff behind wig you got on. Look, Uncle Charles, I'm gonna need you to put the real teeth in, because those false ones you got in, it's not working for you. Like, it's a two-way street, and people think that they could pick and bully on us the younger generation, and it's not. It's not it. It's not it.
I think that's an important note that you make, though. In conversations, there is a point sometimes. Now I will sit there. I'm not going to let myself get to the place. You're not go at some point. Either I'm going to leave. I'm going to remove myself from the situation, because what you're not going to do is continually disrespect me. Like, right. You can say, you can have your opinion, and that's fine. If we're sitting there having a conversation and you're being respectful and telling me how you feel, that's fine. The moment that you flip that and start name calling or anything of that nature, I'm done.
Yeah.
The moment that one thing that I don't do when I'm arguing, do not cuss me. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Do not cuss at me when we're having an argument, because to me that's just I'm shutting down, and I'm not hearing one word that you said after you said that cuss word. I don't hear nothing else. So
I agree with that, because I don't like that. That takes me to, so Kendra and Illusion already know that if I ever hit them if I ever get really mad and I start to shake, and then I just stop, like a switch shuts off, and then I come back laughing, it's time to go. It's time to, you get one arm, you get the other arm, we leaving. Because that means that I'm going to the point that I don't like getting to. That means the person who I locked up in their cage is about to come up, and she needs to stay where she at.
What's your horoscope again, V?
I'm a Taurus, so we're very stubborn. When we're upset, it's like, please do not touch me, don't talk to me, let me zen out, let me zone out, let me get my thoughts in order, because you gonna get the wrath. That's not for you.
May or June?
I'm in April Taurus.
April Taurus. Oh, okay, so right, because Gemini is the end. My bad.
Yeah.
Right after.
Oh, I was about to curse you.
Where we going with June?
I have a sister and a brother who are Taurus, and I'm like, nah, leave them right there. Leave them right there.
We the bulls. You can't just tell us anything.
Nah, you just gotta leave y'all alone, man. Y'all jokers, boy. Woo, it's like it's like in between with y'all. Y'all either good.
It's really not. It's really not. Because it's like, you want to be left alone, or you want food. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
You want
yes.
I hate we gotta close.
I'm hungry.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Coffee Time with Coach Ja. You know what it is every morning. Today is the best day to be the best you. So go out and be fantastic today. You have everything you need to be successful, to be great, and to be loved. So try loving yourself first and teaching this world how to love you. We will see y'all again tomorrow morning, same time, same channel. Peace and love.